Sup? I got my one viewer on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Now people are starting to come in. All right. So we gotta talk a little bit about this. It's a bit of a funny situation. So let's think about it this way. It's a very, very funny situation why this all happened. And it's not the reasons that you're thinking. Or at least not the reasons that I think you're probably thinking. Not the reasons that I think you guys are thinking. So with that, we're gonna wait for a couple more people to get here. Then we'll dive right on into it. We'll dive right on into it. Some details I want to share. Probably some truth about the matter. And then we'll dive. We're going to have to turn this into a video too. We're also going to have to turn this into a video as well. I don't see any oil. Yeah, not having today. Sorry about that. Timing is bad though. Update is in less than 7 days. I actually do get unbanned about 4 hours before the update. I get unbanned. I do believe I get unbanned while the update is in the middle of the patch. Like during the literal 4 or 5 hours that the servers go down. Yeah, that's when we're gonna be free. Any reason why? Well, I'm gonna have to dive into it. And I've got a lot of different clips. I've got a lot of glue. And well, let's just say it's not going to be the best look for certain individuals involved. Because I'm going to be real, right? There was certain content that I wasn't really planning on publishing at this very moment in time. But I'm going to have to do it, right? To explain what's going on. You can make a video about the ban, farm it. Exactly. That's the thing, right? I don't personally view this as a huge barrier at all. Let's just think about it this way. We are going to have to be streaming from YouTube for the next couple of days. So, yeah, we've got some responses as well going on over here. Yeah, let's just say this is going to be a bit of a sticky situation, ladies and gentlemen. It's a setback, but not a barrier? Yeah. Oh, one last second. Let me see if I can get a chat for our YouTube over here. I realize that our chat from YouTube isn't showing up, so let me get that sorted. There we go. All right, now we got YouTube chat. Now. So let me just Let me just figure out some more stuff over here. It's going to be, unfortunately, a bit scuffed at the moment. A little bit scuffed at the moment. Holy shit. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. Oh boy, oh boy. Looks like we're hitting our Twitch numbers anyway. I don't think viewership's necessarily going to be a problem. I don't think viewership's really going to be a problem. So, we all know that this was a post made. This is the thing, right? I don't think he's lying. It's just the timing is a little bit coincidental. The timing is a little bit coincidental because, of course, right? We made this video. We made this video over here. The timing is very coincidental. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. All right, I think we're ready to just get it started. So just as like a bit of like a preface, just as a bit of like a thing going on, I will be streaming basically at my normal time. I will be streaming at my normal time. Let the Discord know you're live. You're not wrong, brother man. You're not wrong. It's it is what it is, man. All right, let me find the link to the stream. It's not as easy as Twitch to just be like, you know, stop. I don't need to hear myself 30 times. I don't need to hear myself 30 times. All right. Oh, this is quite a situation. Pokimane didn't like you talking about her cookies? That's a shame. That's a shame. Alright. I think we're ready to get on into it. We're probably going to be uploading a video on this later. And I guess that's one little extra bit of a farming that we don't have to worry about in a bit. Are you going to play Oblivion? Maybe. That was always a fun game. I wonder if they updated the physics engine in it. Figure it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to address the elephant in the room. About 4 hours ago, well, unfortunately, right, I was banned on Twitch. And there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of reasoning, there's a lot of rumors for what might have occurred. And I'm here to kind of like just let you all know, I'm here to tell you all a couple of things. Talk about what I think is kind of like misinformation regarding this matter, and what I think the actual cause is. If you're looking for the specific reason for why this ban occurred, well, it was considered harassment towards an individual. And because of that, you might be wondering, well, what were the things that were going on? What were the things that were said? And I've had multiple individuals, right, who have, let's just say, they said themselves that they said way worse things than I did on my live streams and face no punishment at all. But there's one thing in particular that I talked about that, well, might not necessarily fit the bill there. We're also going to be talking about what I'm saying over here, which communities did this. And I'm going to be honest, right? There's a lot of rumors going around. I believe that there was one individual who's had to make their own post regarding the matter. And so we're just going to go ahead. We're going to take a look at what Mr. Pokey wrote over here and kind of like get to the bottom, right, of what's going on. He said, I want to make sure everyone knows that I have absolutely nothing to do with Saint getting banned. I'm literally clearing my stamina and flags on my phone as I'm on my bed, then my Discord got mass pinged. I have never once brigaded my community, nor my viewers, to report his sorry excuse of a channel that's not worth anybody's time. At the time of my ban, I had around 2,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch. I think I had about 2,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch at the time of my ban. I don't think Pokey's broke that in the past couple of days playing Epic 7, so I do see a tinge of jealousy over here. I wouldn't read too much into it, though. He kind of, did dedicate a good portion of his stream pretty much just crashing out on me for about 30 minutes. We'll get into that in just a bit. The time of the ban happened when he was reacting to Genizod's VODs and clips, insinuating disgusting things that I would keep private unless forced to. And my mods have video evidence of this despite the now deleted clips. Yeah, we're talking about it like I, accuse somebody of like a crime or something. Yeah, that's not what I did. And we'll dive right into why that's not what I did. If anyone wants to question my innocence, I will show all video footage. Yeah, let's be honest here, right? This is my definition of maybe doing a little bit too much. This is my definition of maybe doing a little bit too much. We could have just said, oh, we're not necessarily involved in this one. I don't think these sort of like implications that are clearly way over the line, and then this insult over here that's way over the line is necessary. Especially when we're going ahead and we're making a video titled Goodbye. Right? We're making a video titled Goodbye. We're no longer going to engage with you. We're not going to do any of these things. We're done with you. And we feel the need to throw, let's just say over here, complete misinformation, as well as a very pointed insult. And so here's him justifying himself. Sorry, yeah, this is a harsh line, and I would never say this for no reason. I'm not sorry because it pales in comparisons to the things said given the context. And I'm extremely cordial by not saying it out loud, though some of you may have already seen it. I guess he's saying that he's very cordial because he wrote it instead of speaking it on stream. So clearly he's having a good time. You can see from this video over here, we have the react for that coming out later if it hasn't already come out, and you'll be able to see what my true thoughts are on the matter. My basic summary of this vid is that the entire thing is kind of just projection. He gives a lot of suggestions to me, like seek therapy, seek guidance, get help. And let's be honest here, I think he's the one that should be heeding his own advice. But that's enough of Mr. Pokey. We've got to talk about the other situation over here, and basically the other individual indicted as, to blame for this predicament, because it is true. I was reacting to both Genizod's VODs as well as my own. And that was what was occurring at the time of my ban. So let's get right on into it. Let's start dispelling some of the speculation. Let's start dispelling some of the, I'm going to be honest here, wild accusations that have been made of me, and talk a little bit more about this, because I'm going to be real here. A lot of people are seeing an inch, and they're trying to take a mile. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So we got a post by Drake's Revenge over here saying, Saint, you're out of line here. And this is actually one of the reasons why everyone thinks I got banned. All I can say is, no chance. Saint, you're out of line here. Totally uncalled for, and I don't care what beef you got, but this was not a joke. This was said with malicious intent. Yeah, you're me, buddy, you definitely know. And yes, it was said with malicious intent, because it's a joke. You can be upset over some dumb shit, but don't do this again. You're not my daddy. Fuck off, dude. And you owe Jenna an apology for this. I don't. So let's go ahead and play this 11-second clip. It took him longer to type this out than it's going to take to play this clip. And let me dive into exactly what I'm talking about over here, and what the joke is, and what the context is. No wonder he S6 Rosia. No wonder he S6'd Rosia. I said 6 words. We're going ahead and we're writing this entire paragraph after I said 6 words. And so let me go ahead and let me provide some context on that. I said that Genizod S6 Rosia, or rather, no wonder he S6 Rosia, because he is pretty much known on the platform as the only individual who has S6'd that unit. And this is the thing. A lot of the people are implying that I'm trying to out him as some sort of like PDF, that I'm trying to out him as some sort of like awful person. And here's the reason why I said that. Because Genizod, you can see in the background over here, we have a creator called Maggie. We also have a creator called Genizod. And those are both individuals that across the past 6 months have been doing a lot of, I'm going to be honest here, a lot of shit talking about me behind the scenes. They've both been extremely passive aggressive. They've both been active in basically trying to tear down my reputation at very many opportunities. One's been doing it more so behind the scenes with Maggie. We've got proof of that. We'll get into that later. And we've also got Genizod, who's doing it very openly in a lot of circumstances because, I'm going to be honest here, his ego got really hurt in some of the past interactions that we've had. And so to provide the context over here of, you know, a little bit of the history that I went into and why this is genuinely just a joke, let's get right on into it. So we've got this, and we're going to cover the Maggie side over here first. So we've got this post over here by Maggie, or really not by Maggie, it's her Discord messages that over this course of time has been getting leaked because she's been exposed as a complete rat in the space. Let's read a little bit about it here. This is, by the way, posted on April 15th, 2025. This was 7 days ago. This was 7 days ago. The second they put his video as #1 for that one contest, said it all. She's talking about me, talking about this contest where I won first place in the Wuthering Waves 1.2 creator contest. That's the type of content they want to see. And yes, the #1 for the current one has a lot of views, but the content is such a nothing burger. She's basically, again, continuing to talk shit about me. Even to this day, about a contest that she got second place in 6 months ago. This was 6 months ago. She's still angry. She's still butthurt about this contest and has been continually talking shit about me to this day on public Discords. That's not a privated channel. And so I went ahead, I made my video, My Trauma with Maggie, and I talked about how, well, her shit talking me on all these different Discords is naturally going to lead to a lot of people having a negative impression of me because she fosters a really weird community of people, right, that are oddly dedicated to her content, oddly dedicated to what she does. And the thing is, right, the fact of the matter is, she's been doing a lot of damage to my reputation behind the scenes. She's been somebody that's been essentially being a complete rat, heavily critiquing my content, saying that it's complete slop, going ahead and damaging my reputation in any way possible. And that's happened multiple times. This is just one example of it from 1 week ago. Oh, sorry, this is from 1 week ago. She's still mad about it. Why do you think, or what do you think she's been doing across the past 6 months if 7 days ago she's still upset, she's still angry, and she's still talking shit? What do you think she's been doing for the past 6 months? I was diving into that. I was talking about this situation. I was exposing these DMs on Twitch, which could have been a reason for why I was mass reported. It could have been her community. But unfortunately, it was another. Or really, I don't know yet, but I have to assume it was another. So let's keep breaking down how this story is going to unfold. You see over here, right? On that clip where Drake's Revenge is basically saying I'm doing the worst thing ever by saying I see why he S6 Rosia. That's because Genizod is on the record being a heavy supporter of Maggie behind the scenes. He said things in this VOD like, I don't think it mattered very much, right? That Maggie went ahead and was talking shit about the entire Wuthering Waves community. Genizod also said things like, well, I don't think it really matters that much that she's been doing some leaking because her content, you know, it was like so good compared to the other slop creators. Imagine who he's talking about over there. It's so good compared to the other slop creators that, you know, Kuro should have just bit the bullet on the leaks and kept her on the program despite her breaking her NDA. And so Jen has been running a lot of defense for her over the past couple of days. And honestly, right, he's also been somebody in the past that's done a lot of damage to me and my reputation. And so I'll get into that later. We're still on the whole, getting yelled at for saying S6 Rosia. That seems to be going on right now. That seems to be the hot topic at the moment. Let me just go ahead and, play a little bit of this over here.
Dude, bro, I've talked so much shit. Like, I've talked so much shit.
He's talking about how much shit he talks about,
bro. I talk so much shit about Wuthering Waves and the community, bro. And guess who's on top? Me.
So yeah, showing a bit of our ego over here, but now we're going to start playing some defense for Maggie after that huge exposure of our own ego.
Okay? You know why? Because who the fuck cares? Because there's a lot of pieces of shit. And everybody knows it. So I don't really think this is a problem, man.
Yeah, so we're playing a lot of defense. We're going ahead, despite all of these very negative things that she's been saying, he's going ahead, right, and giving her a lot of support because he likes her content. He's doing a lot of this, and he explained why he's doing this, because he values her content a lot, especially over slop creators like myself. And so you can kind of see, right, there's a lot of negative framing on the situation, and you'll see that on the backdrop of this video, well, it's Maggie being a rat, right? It's Maggie talking her shit, and then talking her shit as recent as 7 days ago. And so what I do is I go ahead and I simply make this joke. He's a fan of Maggie. He's openly admitted it on stream that he's a fan of Maggie and her content. And I simply make a joke and I say, oh, he's a fan of Maggie and he plays all this defense. Well, I guess I see how he has 6. I guess I see why he has 6 Rosia. That's the joke. He's a self-admitted fan of Maggie. He likes her content. And so I made the joke. I see why he S6 Rosia. You want to know why? Because she's a childlike VTuber, and Rosia is a childlike character. And he has no other S6 characters. And so clearly he put a lot more resources and expenditures into her. And so I just made a joke about it. Because one's a kid, childlike character, and the other's a childlike character. And people are saying that I'm the worst person ever for doing that. And you want to know what I have to say about that? All I did was compare Maggie, a childlike character, to Rosia, another childlike character. And if you're going ahead and you're the individual that's trying to go to the next level with that, if you're trying to imply that there's a deeper meaning to that, all I said is he's a fan of Maggie and he's a fan of Rosia. That's it. And if you're an individual that's trying to take that to the next level and imply something like PDF, you're essentially saying that every fan of Maggie or every fan of Rosia is a PDF. That is literally what you're saying. Because all I did was compare the two of them to each other. I hope you recognize that. I hope you recognize the absolute reach so many individuals are doing. I compared Maggie to Rosia. And if you're equating that to PDFs, you're saying a fan of either of those two are PDFs. Do you realize the type of reach that's going on in this space currently? It's absolutely absurd that people are accusing me of something like this, and I have to go ahead and clarify myself what's going on. I just say it over here. I said if he was a fan of Maggie, no wonder he has 6 Rosia. And the amount of accusations that I've been getting, all you're saying over here, Shine Dare, he's banned on my Twitch, by the way. I wonder why. All you're saying is that a fan of either of these two is a PDF, if this is where you're going with it. That's it. You legit called him? Nope, I didn't. I did not. And if people are going to be this sensitive, that's fine. That's a thing that occurs. But the thing is, if you're saying that either of these two things leads into that, you're saying the fans of either are into that. And that, to me, is a little bit more fucked up than anything I would have said. That sounds like, to me, it's a lot more fucked up than anything I have ever said. Because I said that two childlike things. That's it. So let's go ahead. Let's move on from that, because I'm going to be real here. It's a matter that really doesn't make any sense at all. People are trying to take the ball and run with it. I know for certain, based off of what Shine Dare was doing in my Twitch chat, they're just looking for any way to indict me. They're just looking for any way to cause some issues. Oh, I see someone writing in the chat, bro didn't finish the clip. Oh, okay, we can finish the clip. Let's finish the clip. Wondery S6 Rosia. Was there more? Was a 5-second pause after I said the joke? Is there supposed to be more? People are literally creating fan fiction. They're literally trying to go into this next level of analysis to try to create meaning, to try to create like some sort of accusation that's literally not there. One of them is a fairy little girl VTuber. The other, Rosia, is a little girl character. And to go ahead and equate that to PDFs, you're saying a fan of both? You're saying a fan of either of them is the same exact thing. So let's just be honest here. Let's simmer down a little bit. Let's let off the gas pedal. And let's also keep in mind that I'm making this joke knowing that these two have been fucking me over for the past 6 months. Let's keep in mind that I'm making this joke after the two of them have been fucking me over for the past 6 months. We know that Maggie's a rat. And I'm going to be honest over here. Jenna's a bit of a rat too. And so I wanted a joke that would encompass the both of them. And sure, maybe it didn't land. Maybe it left the room. Maybe it left too much space for interpretation. And if that occurred, I apologize, right? But if you're going to go ahead and try to extrapolate it to the next level, I think you're saying more about yourself and how you think about the two of them than I ever could with that statement. So let's not beat around the bush with that one. You guys are the ones being freaks if you're reading into it that much. So now let's go ahead and get into the real reason for the ban. Let's go ahead and get into the real reason for the ban. And that's because, well, while I was in the middle of exposing this rat duo, let me break down what was actually occurring. So essentially, what I was doing was I was in the middle of explaining a lot of my grievings with Genozod, a lot of the reasons for why I didn't feel like he was representing me in a good light. And I think the biggest example of that is essentially to talk about, well, a gacha cast that we had about 4 months ago. So keep in mind that this gacha cast is the very first time that I have ever interacted with Genozod. My first interaction with him was 4 months ago. And the only thing he tries to do across this entire call is just try to shit on me, try to dunk on me, try to get one up on me, and I have never talked to him before. I have never had a single interaction with this dude ever in my life. And our very first one is him just trying to essentially discredit me. And guess what, guys? I found out that a lot of the points he was trying to make, him saying like, oh, these endgame modes in this is the legendary 1v4 moment. Yeah. Remember that clip that we saw before of him, now look who's on top. Me. That sounds like a guy with a bit of an ego, right? And I'm pretty sure a guy with an ego like this probably doesn't like he doesn't like people saying he was on the losing end of a 1v4. Right? A guy like that probably doesn't really like people saying he's on the losing end of a 1v4. The losing end of a 1v3. Yeah, he probably doesn't feel very good about that. And so what I've been saying is that this dude, Genozod, his first interaction with me was super negative. He was talking a lot of shit. He was trying to cause a lot of trouble, right? Trying to discredit me. Honestly, all three of them kind of were. That's why it was called a 1v3. And he used misinformation to do that. He used misinformation from Punishing Gray Raven, where he talked about various aspects of PGR's endgame modes. He said things like, oh, Kuro already knows how to do endgame. They already did all this stuff in PGR. There were no time limits, no problems with the teams. Kuro knows how to do it, so they're really fucking up in Wuwa by not just doing the same stuff that they did in PGR. And guess what? He just lied. He just made shit up. He was so desperate to try to go ahead and discredit the points that I was trying to make. He just made shit up. And so we had a chat. We had a call to break down exactly what I thought the misinformation was, right? We have a whole section, this video over here, Gotcha's #1 hater versus the rank 1 Kurlbot. We had a whole section where I talk about exactly what those points were, exactly how he was using misinformation to try to discredit me, and the fact that I didn't appreciate that at all. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing. That's where this VOD comes in. That is where this VOD from YouTube comes in. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, well, this is, in my opinion, the real reason for the ban. And we'll dive into exactly why. So, let's go ahead. We're going to need a little bit of context over here. So, Genazad, he's frozen. We actually have a call, and this is not actually a stream. This is a VOD of his stream. He basically went ahead, and on the stream before, on the stream that he did the night of my stream, and so he's already, finished, he's concluded, he went ahead and he was basically saying that nothing I said on the GotchaCast was even wrong. Nothing I said on the GotchaCast was really even wrong at all, right? And so I go ahead, let me just make sure I have the right timestamp. Let me just make sure I have the right timestamp. Let me get some of my glue. Let me get some of my evidence so that I don't, well, other creators care about it, so I don't spread any misinformation. So, Genazad and I are having a conversation. This is how it starts out. Don't worry about the sounds.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Can everybody hear Jenna?
Wait a second. You're way louder in Discord.
So, oh shit, my bad. Let me. So do keep in mind that I have the context that Jenna thought he was entirely right about the GotchaCast. Right? He was entirely right about it. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of this.
Rabbit hole, man. About it.
All right, cool. How you doing?
I'm fine. It's a little past my bedtime, but I was playing Path of Exile all night.
Wait, where are you? In the
California.
In the world?
It's 2 p.m. and normally I'm asleep by noon.
Oh, so you're a little bit more of like a nocturnal creature. I know that you typically stream later in the day, right? Editor, you might want to skip this part until we get to the good bits. I'll tell you when the good bits are. Get him abusing that Asia audience, right?
I just like being awake at night.
You guys remember this VTuber? Okay. Well, I feel it, man. Well, sorry for making you stay up late for this conversation. So,
well, I was playing Path of Exile all night.
Okay. So you were having fun, and this is just a really great thing to cap
on the side. Don't worry about it.
Cap it off.
So,
with.
Okay, wait. Just first.
Yeah, and now this is where the good part is. First
of all, real quick, me saying you were yelling, I was not insulting you by saying you're like dumb yelling about nothing. Mm-hmm. You just kind of are yelling. You are.
Basically, Jenna was heavily critiquing a lot of my content. He was heavily critiquing my takes. He was basically openly talking about the problems that I was causing, the problems that I had in the space.
Factually yelling, okay? Like, I'm not saying you're dumb for yelling or you're yelling about nothing, but you are yelling.
That is correct. Right? Objectively true, like, I was yelling.
Everything from what you saw already in this VOD was not me insulting you.
Okay.
And me saying, like, what is he doing? You're going so down the drama rabbit hole, bro. That's what I'm talking about. You're going so down the drama rabbit hole, man.
Mm-hmm. Define drama.
That's what I...
Long pause while I digested that one.
I was saying. Okay, I mean, you made a whole video, like, look at that clickbait video, Fob. I didn't watch the video, by the way.
So how are you calling it drama? So he openly says he didn't watch the video. He openly says he did not watch the video. If you didn't watch it.
Clickbait. I mean, like, come on, that's like a drama thumbnail. We can both agree on that,
You
right?
didn't watch the video, though, and you're saying what's in it. Yeah, I wasn't very happy about that one. I wasn't very happy to hear that somebody was, like, openly critiquing my content, openly critiquing my video, basically saying that, like, XYZ problems were there, XYZ things were wrong, without watching it. Yeah, I wasn't very happy with that. I think most creators in this space wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but what do you think?
So how are you classifying what type of content it is without watching the video?
Bro, why are you... Okay, fine. Well, okay, let's This isn't really how I wanted this to go at all, but okay.
So, like I mentioned before, right? Jenna's a guy with a bit of an ego. Jenna's a guy with a bit of an ego. We've already confirmed from that Twitch clip. I'll just go ahead and play it again just to, again, confirm it.
Shit, and no one's mad at me for it, bro. I talk so
This is
much
present
shit
day, by the
about
way. This is
Wuthering
about a couple
Waves
of days ago.
and the
I'm not
community,
signing to
bro.
Twitch for obvious reasons.
And guess who's on top? Me. Okay?
Yeah, so Jenna's a guy with a bit of an ego. And you can imagine that he probably didn't like being caught on the flat foot in this conversation. And it is my opinion. I don't know for certain. But the fact that Jenna, after this first gotcha cast, was trying to discredit me, and on every gotcha cast since, he's constantly looking for a way to argue with every single point I'm trying to make, even if it's not really worth arguing with, just to, again, discredit me. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. And he's been doing this for, okay, not 6 months, but 4 months. And he's very passive aggressive. He'll always say things like, those slop content creators. And then, my name will get dropped a couple of times in his Discord. Let me just go ahead and provide some context for that one. I want to make sure that I'm not spreading any misinformation with this one, like a certain creator does in PTR. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Let me just go ahead and make sure, right, that I'm providing every single thing right here. Let me make sure I'm providing just the right stuff over here. No, this is not the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. But yeah, that's just another clip of him playing a lot of defense for Maggie. That's just another clip of that. Let me keep going.
Fuck them.
Not the right one. One second, chat. I am finding the glue.
Being like, whoa. I'm definitely, like, I was immediately 100% on your side, Maggie. After seeing some of the things, I can more understand why it would be the way that it is. But I still don't have any sort of definitive answer, and I still would rather you be in the right. But, like, depending on the evidence, I'm not going to just lie to myself or something. But, like, that's sort of my current thought. I would need to see more, I guess, evidence of one side or the other to, like, fully have a complete idea. But, like,
Eder, you want to cut this part up a little bit
look, here's my opinion.
I think it's right here. I think that this is the exact spot. Sorry, I'm not getting like all the links exactly where I want it to be, but this is kind of it.
I think what you do for the community is worth enough that I really think Kuro Games would rather have you than not. And I think removing you seems pretty stupid because I would
pay attention to this part.
Much rather have your content than some slop shit from the content creator Discord.
So that's just an example of the type of stuff that he'll be saying to passive aggressively throw jabs. Obviously, right? Might not necessarily, and this is why we're passive aggressive about it, because we don't want to say my name. Because we do have plausible deniability as long as we don't say somebody's name. Right? We have plausible deniability as long as we don't say somebody's name. And so we'll read a little bit of his chat, right? Yeah. Notice how I'm the only CC that's going to be brought up here in his chat. And you want to know why? Because he said this multiple times, and it becomes a thing in his chat. For every single time he throws one of these jabs, my name gets mentioned. My name gets dropped. And this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I got sick and tired of it. I got annoyed. I was like, why are we going ahead? Why are we being so passive aggressive? Why are we being like a mean girl from high school? Why can't we just go ahead and just say what we think? And I do believe that this conversation over here was the big reason why. So let's continue playing it. I mean, that's the thing, man. You didn't watch the video, and you're typing about what is in the. You're saying what's in the video when you didn't watch it.
Okay, wait, like really quick, like I mean this with 100% sincerity, and I'm not trying to be condescending at all. Like, can you just not like attack me like this? You're really on the offense right here, man.
Well, because this was the guy that spent, several minutes on the GotchaCast using misinformation to try to discredit me. The entire GotchaCast. I mean, you kind of accused me of being like a drama baiter. I'm going down like the wrong path. I'm like corrupting my audience. I'm doing like, because there's a negative connotation to drama, right?
Dude, I said one thing. You're going really far into this, man. Like, I didn't say that. Like, right, I'm not even implying that.
I'll back off a little bit. My bad, man. I'll back off.
You're going like really.
I'll back off a little bit, man. I'll back off a little bit.
Look, I just see thumbnails of like, like FOB, like Hoyo ruined him.
True.
Like, what does that thumbnail kind of like lead you to believe without watching the video? Why, like people would go into the video thinking whether or not there is drama that you're kind of going for that, right?
Well,
like that's kind of my assumption. Like, it gets views. You're 100% correct. You are not wrong whatsoever, right?
A big item.
Sorry,
okay,
continue. Wait, really quick. Wait. Oh, sorry.
And I think that this moment over here kind of confirmed that the bridge was burned between the two of us. I think that this upcoming moment over here is when the bridge gets burned between the two of us. And me talking about this moment is, in my opinion, why I got banned. So let's pay some very, very close conversation, or very, very close attention to what's going to be said over here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but really quick. Bro, your chat is so aggressive, it's insane, dude.
I guess I'm going to read my chat. That's classic clickbait. So judge a book by its cover? The LOL player insane is unstoppable. That's fair. That's YouTube's fault, XD. I would look at that thumbnail and assume it's drama. That's actually somebody agreeing with him. This is how I expected the confrontation was going to go. Drama baiter, love you, Saint. Let Jeddah speak his piece until he is done and then respond when it's asked for. Seems like a chill chat to me. So let's hear more.
Like people were like, oh, he's a snowflake, just let him talk. Bro, I just want to have a civil discussion. I'm not like trying to have like this. So
keyword. Keep that in mind, what Jenna just said over there.
This fat argument, you dumb fuck. You stupid morons in chat. Like, oh, you baby. Bro, because I'm trying to talk to another human, you dumb fucking idiot. Okay? You stupid morons in chat that are faceless. You can't even speak, okay? You don't have a voice, so shut the fuck up, dumbass. Okay?
So, keyword that he mentioned over there was, he said snowflake. And he cited somebody saying snowflake as essentially like the precursor to him saying all of those things to my chat.
Okay, I'm trying to have a discussion with someone else, not you, you dumb moron. Okay,
guys, let's relax and chat a little bit. And so I feel the need to sort of, I personally didn't think that my chat was actually that crazy, but I think him seeing like one or two comments, I guess one of them was snowflake, and that led to him, I guess, not being in a great state. And so I decided to, just tell my chat to back off a little bit, because I was really taken aback by this. I was really surprised by this one. Like, this one really, like, confused me. Guys,
like, bro, in your chat earlier, when I said I had 1,900 things, I had, like, a couple people literally at me like, you're an idiot, because I had 1,900 echoes. Like,
So yeah, he was not very happy with somebody saying that he was dumb for almost having a full Echo inventory. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Your community is attacking people for no reason. Okay?
All that an act, but I wouldn't call getting called a snowflake or being told that you're dumb for almost having a full Echo inventory. I wouldn't. Maybe that's an attack. I guess some people could view that as an attack. It is what it is, right?
Okay? Like, I don't even understand. Like, for no reason, people just attack. Just because someone wants to have a discussion because of a disagreement or something, like, you little minions, like, why are you doing that, bro?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of insults towards my chat. And this is the thing, right? We've just confirmed the guy has a massive ego. Just confirmed he has one of the biggest egos in the space. I'm the one on top. Look at me. How do you think he's going to feel about me moving forward after this conversation? How do you think he's going to feel about every interaction that we have moving forward? He's always going to want to dunk on me. He's always going to want to get a one-up. That's why he's always talking this shit behind the scenes. That's why he's always like making jabs on his stream. And that's the thing. It's really unfortunate that this occurred because, well, there's one thing I didn't know about Twitch's moderation policy. I was merely describing the situation. There's something I didn't know about Twitch's moderation policy. Apparently, saying snowflake on Twitch can actually be considered bannable. And so me explaining the situation of that moment where he got really upset from someone calling him a snowflake and then proceeded to call my what did he call them? I feel like I need to rehear what he was saying about my chat.
That's correct. You were like, just let him talk, bro. I had like a couple people literally at me, like, faceless. You can't even speak. Like, just let him talk, bro. I just want to have a civil discussion. I'm not like trying to have like this fat argument, you dumb fuck, you stupid morons.
Dumb fuck, stupid moron.
And shadow, oh, you baby, bro, because I'm trying to talk to another human, you dumb fucking idiot.
Dumb fucking idiot.
Okay? You stupid morons and
stupid morons.
Chat that are faceless. You can't even
faceless.
Speak, okay? You
can't even speak.
A voice, so shut
you
the
don't have
fuck
a voice,
up.
so shut the fuck up.
Dumbass.
Dumbass. Okay, so that's... I was explaining why he was saying all those things, and me saying that him being called a snowflake triggered all of those things, well, I do believe that could have been considered harassment. That could have been considered harassment. And so the end result of that was, well, apparently it was used in a harassing, hateful, or repeatedly toxic way. And I can see why, right? Because that's not a very good reaction from him from being called that. And the phrasing that I said in my chat, or in my Twitch stream was, guys, since you know Jenna reacts this way to being called a snowflake, make sure you definitely don't do that to him. And yeah, we got mass reported for that one, boys. We got mass reported for that one, boys. And yep, we're out for 7 days. We are out for 7 days. But fortunately, we will be back just in time for the Wuthering Waves 2.3 update. We're actually banned, and then our ban lifts in the middle of the patch, like the downtime in between versions. And so we should be ready to go back on Twitch after all of this. Yeah, any progress on the appeals? So that's the thing, right? Because I use this term, and because Twitch in the past has actually gone ahead and banned people for using the word like simp and incel and virgin. There are like certain like words that are like banned on Twitch. And snowflake is actually one of them. And I didn't know that. I did not know that. And the thing is, right, that's really unfortunate because I was going off of what he was literally saying in this VOD. Right? I was going off of what he literally said in this VOD. And then like talking about it from there. Not even like I would never have even used the term in the first place if I guess that one chatter didn't say it. So we can blame whoever that was way back on December 11th for everything that's going on over here. We can blame that one chatter from December 11th for everything that is going on over here. What am I reading in chat? Was it Echo Picker? What is Echo Picker supposed to be? Holy shit, Naughtyx, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. I appreciate it so much. Well, we are going to be streaming, again, we are going to be streaming on YouTube for the next, well, I guess like 7 days. So that'll be that. That is the reason why. And hopefully this explains a lot more of the context. Because let's be real here, right? Genozod has a really big viewership on Twitch, and they were really not happy to see this going on live. And so with the VOD deleted, with all of the evidence, all the proof, all of the context of this conversation gone, well, they can help their creators save a lot of face. But unfortunately, because I did get banned, I had to explain the reason why. And explain the reason why, unfortunately, has made me dredge up all this stuff again. I wasn't actually even going to turn this into a video on my YouTube. I wasn't actually going to publish this. It was going to stay all on Twitch. But now, well, because of all the drama that's gone on, how people have tried to extrapolate and make such a big deal out of this situation, well, I had to explain myself. And the only way I can do that is, I'm going to be honest, the only way I can do that is to give all the details. And I do believe that, unfortunately, right, that's going to lead to some trouble for some creators down the road. So with that, it is what it is. Let me know what you all think. Peace. Well, does that explain things, guys? Does that explain things, guys? Is it a little bit more clear what the context of the situation is? Does it seem that crazy? I think the only thing you could have a couple of misgivings about is extrapolating this joke and trying to go places. But I'm going to be real. I don't think it's that deep. And guess what? There are a lot of creators that made fun of Genozod having an S6 character. Or an S6 Rosia. A lot of creators. Right? And it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal 3 months ago when he pulled it. But suddenly it's a big deal now. I don't buy that. Right? A lot of people made fun of him. Yeah, let me add that to the recording. I'm going to be real, right? I talk about Genozod's S6 Rosia. A lot of people just made fun of him for pulling it 3-4 months ago. A lot of CCs. They did. And if it was acceptable back then, but suddenly it's no longer acceptable now, I don't think that's a really fair shake. I don't think that's a really fair thing. Because there are a lot of big gotcha CCs on the record just making a joke out of the fact that he did it. And so me doing it again, I'm not going to be crucified for that. I'm not taking the blame for that. I'm not going to go ahead and just accept all the sins of all these other creators. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Get over it. Appreciate it, Square. Appreciate the 20. Yeah, I don't have my notifications fully set up on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to, I'm going to work on all that stuff. I know the stream is a little bit scuffed today, unfortunately. But hopefully you can understand why, because I had to move a little bit fast to get things set up. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And hopefully that didn't seem too dramatic. Did I provide enough context for why I feel upset with creators like Maggie? Did I provide enough context for why I felt upset with creators like Jenna? Does it make sense for you guys? Because I'm gonna be real, right? There's a reason why I said they're acting like rats. And there's a lot of people running defense for him because right now he's got a lot of viewers, right? He's got a lot of viewers, a lot of people running defense for him. It's a little bit annoying to deal with, right? All right. Let me go ahead. I'm going to try to get that uploaded for my editor, and we'll try to upload that first thing tomorrow morning. We will try to upload that first thing tomorrow morning just to, you know, explain the issue and why some of my content, why there's going to be a different place to find my content. Yeah, it's a dumb rule by Twitch. Yeah, it's a dumb rule by Twitch. Unfortunately, they've got some hidden bad words. They've got some no phrases. They've got some no phrases. Yeah. All right, but yeah, you can expect that a lot of the streams in the future will be going kind of like exactly like this. This is typically what I do on my Twitch. We'll go ahead, we'll look at some of the new news for the day. We'll get into some of the stuff that's coming up. And then basically, right, record some stuff, maybe do some reacts. Do it from there. And we'll move on from that, right? The content flow on YouTube will not be changed. The content flow on YouTube will not be changed. We're going to keep up the same pace, keep up the same uploads. It's not a big deal, right? It is not a big deal at all. There shouldn't be any interruptions. So, yeah. Hey, appreciate the 400. I don't know what that is, Wolf Drake, but I appreciate it. Just glad it's not a permaban. Hey, me too, brother man. Me too, brother man. What else we got over here? Oil up. Well, unfortunately, I was supposed to do a sub goal for that. But, well, you saw how... Well, we can't really do sub goals on Twitch anymore. So, that was a little bit interrupted. Copyright is strict here. I think the thing with copyright is as long as it's certain videos, certain things like that, it should be fine. And this is the thing, right? A lot of it is going to be news just from Twitter. Because guess what's going to be coming out in the next couple of days? Guess what's going to be coming out in the next couple of days? We're going to be having Zani's weapon. We're going to be having Zani's kit. We got like Zani's guide. We got all that stuff coming up. So yeah, no big deal at all. And we'll just make sure maybe like, yeah, and this is the thing. I'm pretty sure the videos that we're going to be reacting to, I think you can still do that on YouTube. It's just, you end up with like some stuff on your stream. And then maybe like there's like monetization issues and stuff like that. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Is it true that you got banned? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to be real. Maybe Mr. Pokey was part of the mass reports. Maybe his community was. But I'm going to be real. I'm not sure why he wanted to talk so much about it. Yeah, I don't know why he wants to have such a take on this. It's a little weird. Isn't Jenna saying your video is drama because of the thumbnail? Same like you're saying Mr. Pokey, it was planned video is misinformation. The same when he was just reading Chinese comments. Let me think about it that way. So the thing is, back then, I wasn't more so mad about the fact that he said my video was drama. I was mad about the fact that he was making conclusions about it without watching it. That's what really pissed me off the most about that moment. The fact that he was like making conclusions, summarizing my content, saying things to basically insult my or like critique my content, say that there's a problem with it without watching any of it. Right? And I feel like any person, right? This is like somebody, you turn in an essay at school. You turn in an essay at school, and then the teacher gives you a B without reading it. And you worked really hard on it, and you thought it deserved an A, but the teacher just knows it's from you. They don't read your essay and just puts a B on it. I don't think you'd be very happy with that, right? You'd probably not be very happy about that, right? Yeah, and that's kind of what he was doing to me. He used a preconceived notion about my content and essentially said, all your content is just like this. because I know who you are as a person. I don't even need to watch your video to know what your content is. Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't he do that shit like 4 months ago? Absolutely, he did that 4 months ago. And guess what? I think he's still holding a grudge about it to this day. Because, Sandro, I don't know if you saw what was going on in that call, but he kind of crashed. Kind of just crashed out on my chat. Post by Techie. Talked with Genocide. The dick riding some of y'all doing is getting weird. So this is the thing, right? I think Jenna himself knows that his community is being really fucking weird. Specifically, I think the people getting all up in a mess about the S6 Rosia situation. I think it's a lot of those people. Yeah, because, like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. So, yeah. I've already had some chats. We've already got, like, again, the content flow, all of that planned out and ready to go. We've already got it all planned out and ready to go. Unfortunately, our next upload of the Pokey vid is a bit delayed. Because, guys, you remember this video by Pokey? It was 17 minutes and 53 seconds. Yeah, we reacted to this for about an hour and 30. Because there was so much misinformation in this video. So much stuff not shown that I had to go into and download stuff. Or not download stuff. I had to play actual videos. I had to show all of these different things, get all of this footage, do all of that, because Pokey was explaining nothing. You'll notice in this video, all he does is just sit there and talk. He doesn't play a single clip. He doesn't play a single clip from anything. He just sits there and talks with a backdrop. And so I play the videos. I bring the receipts. I bring the glue because, yeah, there's a reason why he doesn't play anything in here. Yeah. You guys want to see the thumbnail? He wants to show all the different thumbnails I made about him. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, I've got some too. Yeah, don't worry, I've got some too. Yeah, I've got some too. Don't worry about that one, bucko. And guess what? By the time he made 7 of these, I hadn't made a single one of his. I hadn't made a single one of these before he made 7 of these. And so let's not act like we're perfect over here. Yeah, let's not act like we're perfect over here. But yeah, that's the thumbnail for this. It's gonna be, yeah, gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one. So do keep that in mind. All right. All right. Hopefully that's settled stuff, guys. This is technically like my second stream of the day. To truly have Saint crash out, you need to summarize his videos without watching them while disseminating misinformation about Wuwa using B-roll incorrectly. Koji-kun, that's a lot of fucked up shit to do. Yeah, maybe I would crash out from that. But yeah, the number one thing that really does get my gears going a little bit, and so if you do want to intentionally piss me off, is yeah, just summarize my content without watching it, and then say that it's like there's something wrong with it. Yeah, that will piss me off. Is Techie not gonna have a chat with you? I've gotten some tips from him. He's actually the one that said stream on YouTube. He's actually the one that said stream on YouTube. Yep, I've already had a chat with him. He told me to stream on YouTube. So we're good on there. So yeah, that's that. No need for war. No need for war. However, I'm not going to go ahead and tell you what to do or what not to do with what you've heard today. I think that you as a community have the right to respond. Hopefully not in a terrible way. I would not want you to do that. I feel like you as a community have the right to respond to this news in hopefully like an appropriate way, right? And, you know, I do think that there have been a lot of people who have done me wrong. That's going to be clear. And I'm not going to ask anybody over here, right, to pretend that nothing happened. Right? I'm not going to ask anybody over here to pretend that nothing happened. We also got to set up TTS, guys, and alerts. I realize I feel like I'm talking to myself over here because we usually have some of those going. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to myself over here because we usually have some of those going. So I need to spend like the rest of the evening figuring that shit out. I've had like, you know, obviously the big ban happened. So I've had like some conversations with some other CCs, been in a couple of Discord calls, talked to a couple of people. We've been figuring some stuff out, talking to the editors as well. So just getting all my affairs in order before going into this. You're right, but you got to admit that joke implied something you didn't intend. That's the thing, right? I think that any implication, Kevin, that somebody makes of that joke, my personal viewpoint is that if you're thinking really bad implications about it, do keep in mind I only mentioned a girl and a girl. That's it. And if you're extrapolating further from that, I think that says a little bit more about the person extrapolating than the joke itself. If they're willing to take that far, to go that far in the thought process. Holy, I don't know how much that is, but appreciate it, Gamer Slayer. Hello, I'm new to your YouTube, and I love your content. You're my favorite. I know there's not much, but I like your content. You're my favorite. Hey, appreciate it, man. But I do think, Gamer Slayer, don't spend your money too wildly. I don't want to assume that you're, like, of younger age, but from what I read, it does seem like you might be, like, maybe, you know, a younger person. So make sure you're getting your parents' permission. Make sure you're getting your parents' permission before donating like that. Oh, nice Photoshop. Okay, the Wolf Drake. Oh, nice Photoshop, bro. And the currency of my dono is Thai baht. I'm from Thailand. $1 is around 35. $1 around 30. Holy shit. I don't know how I'm not good enough at mental math to know how much that is, but hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, that's like 30 or 28 or something. Hey, appreciate it, man. You know what? Yeah, maybe I should just stream on YouTube. I'm getting yeah, my one stream on YouTube has made like more in donations than like 3 weeks on Twitch. Yeah, more in YouTube donations than like 3 weeks on Twitch. Super chats are crazy. Hey, appreciate everybody becoming a member as well. Appreciate all the people becoming a member as well. Bro, do a dual stream. We'll see if I can figure out a dual stream. It can get a little bit dicey sometimes with the type of content that I try to do. Because I know Twitch is a little bit more loose when it comes to live streams and watching videos and stuff. This whole thing will only make you stronger. I mean, this is the thing, right? I literally feel like the word snowflake is now my Achilles heel. I feel like the word snowflake was like literally my Achilles heel. Like, I had no idea I even had that weakness in the first place. And like something like so small ended up being my downfall. Because, well, there are some no words on Twitch. And that's one of them. That is one of them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I am ecstatic to see this kind of viewer turnout on YouTube. I actually didn't expect that it was going to be just this good. Thank you for, I think we're seeing 27 new members right now. I think that's the most I've ever had in the history of YouTube. Just don't use ice characters. Keep that in mind, Apto. And yeah, hopefully that has painted some more context for you guys. And yeah, we'll be uploading the Pokevid later today. We'll be uploading some other stuff. We'll be uploading this edited VOD later tomorrow. And then we'll just go from there, guys. But with that, it is getting a little bit later in the day for me. I personally got to take some time to decompress from all of this because despite what you might think, did get a little bit stressed about everything going on. But I kind of want to just take some time to relax now, knowing everything is going to be okay. So, with that, everybody, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for making the first YouTube stream in, I don't know, like fucking months an absolute success. And we'll be seeing you all tomorrow. Honestly, around like 12 to 13 hours. I haven't noticed Jenna's passive aggressiveness, but I didn't think he was the type to hold a grudge this long. Best of luck. Hey, appreciate it, man. And hopefully, or, you know, unfortunately, with this expose, hopefully it'll not happen again. Void, appreciate the 20, man. Appreciate the 20. With that, guys, holy shit. Hey, Mayor Munchkin, appreciate that too. Maybe I should just keep it going. These don't seem to stop. Like, every time I'm about to, like, say, all right, peace out, it's like another one comes in. All right. But with that, guys, again, appreciate the turnout. We'll be back tomorrow in about 12 to 13 hours. See you later. Bro got me. Okay, soon got it.